Okay, we're finishing up our series of top 5 players at each position. Finally, we are at quarterback. Number 5, Dan Marino. Now look, I know there's a lot of people out there that say that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of a football. I beg to differ. It's Dan Marino. Just go back and look at what Dan Marino did. Look at his release. You know, how quick he got the ball out of his hand, how fast that ball got to receivers. I mean, Dan Marino is the greatest thrower of a football. If he played right now, Dan Marino would throw for 6,500 yards easily. Easily. For what he did back then, I mean, he revolutionized what the passing game was all about. If he was playing now with these rules, he'd throw for 6,500 yards a season. Dan Marino, number 5. Number 4, John Elway. Look, man, John Elway was that guy. I mean, he went to 5 Super Bowls. He won 2. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, he couldn't win without Terrell Owens. Well, there's a lot of quarterbacks that can't win without other people. I mean, name me a good receiver that he had on those first 3 Super Bowls that he went to. He didn't have anybody. When you put a team around him, and this was at the end of his career, might I add, he still got the job done. Not to mention the man threw for 330 yards in his last game when they said, we're going to take away the run. We're going to make you beat us. He beat you. John Elway, number 4. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Look, I know there's a lot of people out there that think Peyton Manning should have won more than 2 Super Bowls, and I'm one of those people, but Peyton Manning was great, man. Great mind. He didn't have a rocket arm, but the ball always seemed to get to where it needed to be. Never threw a tight spiral, but again, the ball always seemed to get to where it needed to be. Got you in and out of the right plays. Still threw for a ton of yards. And yeah, he had great receivers. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, played with edge. He always had a good team behind him, but he was the straw that stirred the drink. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Number 2 is Tom Brady. Look, he's won 7 Super Bowls, but what holds Brady back, in my opinion, are the 2 cheating scandals, man. He's got all these records, but Deflategate and Spygate were a real thing. It happened. I'm not even saying that other people didn't do it, but he did. He got caught. It was on his watch. So all those things, to me, kind of have a little tarnish on his name. I love Brady, but Brady comes in at number 2. And number 1, to me, is Joe Montana. Look, I use the Michael Jordan reference. The guy went to 4 Super Bowls. He won 4 Super Bowls. He won 3 MVPs in those Super Bowls, and he should have won a 4th. I mean, the guy that year, he threw for 357 and the game-winning touchdown. I mean, he should have won the MVP that year. Joe Montana, Joe Cool, the number 1 quarterback in the history of the NFL, in my opinion. I know it's arguable, but to me, Joe Montana's number 1.